Hello.
Hey, Leonie.
Well, we are in the middle of Ljubljana in Tivoli Park.
In Slovenia.
Yes, and we're hoping you can hear us because we're trying out some new technology today. So, if anyone can give us a little hi, that'd be really good. Now, we decided we were going to do a little live because we haven't done one yet. No other reason, yeah.
And I've got to tell you, if you were here, you would be able to see there is little squirrels everywhere.
Oh, no, it's going to run up my leg. Shoo, look up the tree behind me. Can you see it? Look.
There you go.
Where is he? See, up the tree? Look. There he is. Oh, watch out, little man. Oh, my goodness.
It's not like it's a brown bear, Leanne. It's just a tiny little squirrel.
Yeah, there he is. There's quite a few. I can see one here, another one over there. There's people look, he sits up. Oh, they're a bit cute. Look.
They are very cute. Come on, concentrate.
Oh, sorry. All right, so Ljubljana, lol.
Yeah, it's...
You're out of the picture there. Come over a bit.
Oh, we're struggling here. It's beautiful. The landscape, and it's so green and hilly, and there's the mountains, the Julian Mountains at the back.
Julian Alps, yeah.
Yeah, the backdrop of the city, and that's got snow on it
all year round.
Yeah, and the city itself is pretty. We went to see Ljubljana Castle yesterday on a tour.
It's the biggest castle in a cave in the world.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's really old.
Yeah, it's 1200s.
Yeah.
It was built, and it's had lots of owners, and so that was pretty interesting.
So you actually go up through you start sort of outside, and then you head into the castle, and you're in the cave as well. Oh, there's one on our table. Goodness me. Hello.
What Leanne's saying is when there's one on the table, there's a squirrel sitting.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
Only probably a metre away. But and then after that, we went to the caves.
Yes, Postjama
caves, and they were incredible. There's a 5 kilometre rail into the centre of the mountain, and at its highest peak, I think it's 240 metres.
What do you mean at its highest peak?
Like
inside the mountain.
Yeah, inside the mountain, and then
we went to 120 metres.
Down.
Yes.
So, I think at the middle it's 240, and then it can go down to 120. So
actually in the caves there's like 25 metres or so, 25 kilometres of caves. Yep. We only did 5 kilometres, and we walked. You get on a train that takes you in, as you said.
Yeah, as I said, that's 5 kilometres, and then there's a 1.5 kilometre walk, and then there's another, and then you get train back. So,
and it's almost on the same track, but it separates, and you go through another sort of chandelier room. Remember that chandelier?
Yeah.
They were so impressive, those caves, and can't wait to tell you more about that when we get around to podcasting about that. But we got to Ljubljana Wednesday, and today's Saturday, and the sun came out the day we arrived, didn't it? And it was about a 6-hour bus trip from Budapest, which we loved, didn't we?
Yeah. Budapest is one of my favourite cities.
Yeah, there's so much to do there, and we've already put out one podcast episode, and we recorded the other one today. Those squirrels are freaking me out. Oh, they're so cute. They're not as bad as those lizards at Australia Zoo, are they?
No.
No.
And both were harmless. So.
We've got a great hotel room with a balcony with a nice view, and really spacious room and comfy bed, and we're very close to the old town, aren't we?
Yeah, and we went to the markets last night. It's an outdoor food market, and
we got a little hint, a little heads up on that, didn't we?
Yeah, and we both had.
We wouldn't have known about it.
Yeah, pad thai from the street food vendor. It was only €7 a head, which I couldn't believe how cheap it was.
We couldn't eat it all.
And we couldn't eat it all, and it was so good. And the actual where it was located, there was just people everywhere.
Yeah, we're amazed by how busy it is, and it's not like touristy busy. A lot of I imagine it's families, you know, where they got prams and little kids and kids on bikes and scooters. And I think it was Friday afternoon, obviously, and with the sun out, it was a beautiful, warm afternoon. I think, I'm going to hold this here, Don. It gives us, it's a bit dark here, isn't it? A bit shady. With the sun out, there were just people everywhere. I mean, you can always get a seat. That's not an issue. But it was busy.
Really busy.
Yeah, really busy. And so you would think the local restaurants would be a bit, oh my gosh, we've got to, the food markets are going to affect our business. But the food markets were flat out. And the restaurants.
So were the restaurants. Yeah. You were lucky to, like Leanne said, we did get a seat, but you had to search for a seat at any of the restaurants as well.
Yeah.
So,
and some of them wouldn't give us a drink only because we'd had dinner and that you had to eat food at their restaurant. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But we found one that, had a drink. So, and I had one of my favourite, Hugo Spritz.
it was damn good too.
Yeah. You had a bit of that, didn't you? We found the wine really nice, haven't we?
Yeah. It's very good.
And,
yeah.
What we do so far, we've only been 2 places, and we find a little supermarket that sells the wine and
take away,
and we're finding nice bottles. We've had Chardonnay, we've had Sauvignon Blanc, we've had Pinot Gris, obviously the Slovenian equivalent and the Hungarian equivalent, but they at least put those names on the bottles, so
you've got an idea.
Yeah,
and they're about 10 Australian dollars. So,
so
about €6.50, 10 Australian dollars.
Well, we got some for 3 in somewhere.
Yeah, that was in Budapest.
Yeah.
And that was good too. So
yeah, it's just a good way to at the end of the day we just go home and watch Netflix on the computer. We haven't been out after dark yet. We're going to have to do that because I want to go and get some photos at night time. We're exhausted though. We're doing nearly 15,000 steps every day, just out walking, exploring. It's just been amazing, hasn't it?
Yeah, and our disco days are probably not totally over, but
Oh, come on. If I said, let's go to a salsa bar, you'd be in it?
Of course.
Yeah. The other thing we've been enjoying are the buffet breakfasts, haven't we?
Yeah. Breakfast has been good. Yep.
Yeah. I was
excellent.
This morning's was a bit average. I don't know why. They didn't have mushrooms. I was very disappointed in that. But been having lots of vegetables and lots of fruit. The fruit here, I don't know if you want to see the beautiful markets on Instagram, on the story highlights from Slovenia. We went, we're just walking up towards the Ljubljana castle, and they had these fresh food markets. And you've never seen blueberries, this size. They're like the size of apricots, some of them. And the strawberries were unbelievable. Well, we bought blueberries and then we had strawberries for breakfast. I mean, I think I was talking to one of my kids and they said, we think we're so lucky with our food here in Australia, but those markets looked amazing, didn't? And, and it's true.
Well, Leanne bought a punnet of blueberries.
I did.
And I tried them. And I said that they can't be blueberries because they tasted nothing like what we get in Australia. But they were blueberries and they were beautiful. Yeah.
Well, they're a little bit nicer than the frozen blueberries I get from Coles, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the food's been nice. Look, and here there's a canal that runs all the way through the middle of the old town, isn't there? And the old town isn't that big, but there's beautiful streets and beautiful buildings, lots of nice shops too, and different food shops. There's fish. There was a fish specialty shop, and then they've got that bakery we saw, with those little cakes. Like there was mango cakes that looked like mangoes. Oh
yeah, the patisserie.
Yeah, and little coffee shops. They're really into their coffee here. They've got unique little coffee shops tucked away in every corner. Then you can just smell the coffee when you come around, can't you?
Yeah, it's it's a bit grungy. This Ljubljana, Ljubljana.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Edgy.
What did I call it?
Grubby, grudgy.
Grungy.
It's got a negative connotation. I don't know. What Lyle I think's getting at is they're very arty here, and they love people expressing their art, and there's lots of murals on the wall. But they also
others might call that graffiti.
Well, they're murals, but they also have graffiti, and graffiti's not illegal here if you don't put in
political statements
or swearing or offensive. That's right. So and so they let them put graffiti everywhere, and there's some of it that I don't mind, you know, but some of it's pretty, you know, so there's a fair bit of that, but they seem to embrace that here, don't they?
Yes.
Yep. A lot of bikes.
Bikes.
And, you know, they're supposed to have rules for bikes. I know we sound like old people again, but they're supposed to have rules for bikes, you know, like walking across the streets and staying in one lane and that sort of thing. And this is what the bus driver was telling us yesterday. And, of course, they don't do that. And, you know, once again, when you go to cross the road here, you don't have to worry about cars. You've got to worry about the bikes and the scooters tearing past, because we look the wrong way every time, don't we?
Yeah, the other thing is that what we saw, I think we saw one yesterday and a couple today, little motorbikes.
Yeah, like
on the footpath.
Vespers.
Oh, smaller than Vespers, but
Mopeds?
really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, they're allowed in the bike lane on the footpaths. That's right. Yeah, that's a bit dangerous. We nearly saw a little girl got knocked day over tea, didn't we?
Yesterday.
The girl.
Whilst we were sitting there having a drink.
Yeah. We were people watching, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of good people watching going on. Also, quite surprising, because it's such an old city, but they've only been a city since 1991. A country, sorry.
Yeah.
Slovenia since 1991.
Because before that, they were part of the Yugoslavia.
And they, so they're very proud, aren't they? They also, you know, such a old city with all the old buildings, but it's full of young people. That's all you see. There's uni students. I was talking to a girl that goes to uni here. You know, like they're lots of very young. It's a very young city. Families.
Yeah. And both high school and actually right through school, including university,
it's free.
It's free. Yep.
Yeah. You got to pay your living expenses and that sort of stuff, but you don't pay for your education.
Well, you can get a scholarship where a company will
pay your accommodation,
and food and all that, but then you've got to sign a contract for 10 years to work for that company. Yeah. Otherwise, like in Australia, sometimes you've got to rely on mum and dad.
Yeah, and interesting here too, your kids just can't ride around on their bikes on their own. You've got to, I can't remember what grade it is, but, you know, well into primary school, you can get a bike license. They teach bike safety in school, and you have to ride with an adult that has either a driver's license or a bike license.
Yeah.
Until you're 15.
Yeah.
That's what he said, didn't he?
That's what it sounded like, yeah.
Yeah. So you imagine that in Australia, you know, the kids tearing around on their bikes. You just can't do it here, you know, so there's families everywhere on their bikes. So they all do ride bikes. So I guess it's a bit of a safety issue, isn't it? Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah. Nothing's that far away. As we were walking here today, you can see the snow-capped Julian Alps. And did we already say this?
Yes, we did.
About skiing. We're told that everybody learns to ski as well.
But he also said that they've got 47 kilometres or 46 kilometres of coastline, and everybody can swim too.
Yeah, he did say that.
I sort of question that.
Yeah, so
that
Slovenia
everybody in Slovenia can swim.
So Slovenia has, that's right, 45, whatever it was, kilometres on the Adriatic Sea. So it must be between Italy and
like Trieste.
Croatia.
Yeah.
So Italy and Croatia. So in that part, there's about 47, and it's a little touristy town called Piran. That's the Slovenian town on the Adriatic Sea. Did you know that?
I did.
Okay, there you go. But I thought, I thought it might have been landlocked, but it's not. The other thing that I think is surprising is, even though it's it's relaxed, it's a small town, it's beautiful, as you can see all the green trees. I mean, it's so pretty. The trees with flowers, and you just think it's tranquil. But they bip their horns in the traffic all the time, don't they?
Yeah, probably patience isn't one of their virtues.
No, it's pretty. You just you'd be walking along, it's people just bipping their horns, like the bus driver even, and they weave in and out the traffic. It's a bit wild on the roads, isn't it?
Yes.
There's a lot of if you're driving in the country, there's a lot of speed cameras. Like he must have pointed out about half a dozen on our 60k drive yesterday.
Yeah, he said they get, what is $1 million?
€1 million a day from fines. Like, come on. It's not that big.
No. Well, there's only...
Surely they'd have to be bloody stupid then if they keep getting fined, right?
Well, there's only about 270,000 people in
Ljubljana.
And there's only about 2 million in Slovenia all up.
Yeah.
But the history, they've done it pretty hard in so many ways, like a lot of these European countries. So because of the world wars and the communist takeover and all that sort of stuff, they've been ruled by the Ottomans, the Austria, Napoleon, the French. So but that's the same as most European countries.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, this park is huge. This is like just massive big park in the middle of town, and we probably walk. It's only about, what was it, a kilometre and a bit from our hotel. Like, nothing's far away, is it? Really.
No.
We lucked out again. Like, when we were in Budapest, we went up to Buda Castle, and we couldn't go into a few of the museums and exhibitions because they were practicing for an event. They had all the army out and the security police, and we found out
the army marching bands and all that sort
and
of
the horses.
Stuff. Yeah, the horses and the Secret Service.
Like, we just stand there watching it, and I said to Lyle, it's a practice for something, because they got the red carpet out, and they were practicing, but they're still sort of chatting amongst themselves. They weren't that serious. Anyway, we found out that
it was the Chinese premier Qing.
Yeah.
Xing. Well, I'm not sure.
Is it president or premier?
Probably president.
Yeah.
So that was what that was all about.
Yeah. And then we went to Ljubljana Castle, which we went up the funicular and got up there, and we were going to do an audio tour, and they had one on the wine history and stuff, which I was looking forward to, but we couldn't do that because like she said, some of the stations weren't available because they had a great big marquee set up there, and we didn't find out what it was, but they said it was some sort of political event. So the inside of Ljubljana Castle was dominated by this big white marquee and all these little green and white striped food stations around. They were setting up a bit like a wedding, wasn't it, with all the tables and everything out, but we still got to see that. So that's two of the castles. We haven't been able to see everything, but I guess that's travel for you. And then we walked. We were going to get the funicular back down, but we found out we could walk down, and that was beautiful, wasn't it? Yeah,
because not many people. Well, actually, I think we probably saw 4 people the whole way back to the city, as in the park area.
Yeah.
So it was really pleasant. It was a nice day, like today. It's a beautiful day today.
And also, when we came back into town, we sort of came back another direction. So we walked back through a part of town we might not have seen otherwise as well.
Sure.
Yeah, that street with that fancy hotel and there's some nice little coffee shops and things.
Yeah, that was Gronchi Square.
Okay. But no, it doesn't matter where you go. There's little alleyways through to the canal, or there was a museum. Was it a music museum or something? Oh, the movie pictures. Remember those? Yeah. So guy said, come in and have a look. And there was an old vintage shop up a secondhand shop up another alleyway, and there's little courtyards in behind some of the restaurants and things. There's lots of little secret places to explore here. A lot of people sort of hanging around the main square area, where the Triple Bridge is. That's the main square. Yeah.
Yep.
And you can do a little boat tour as well on the, how do you pronounce that canal?
It's Ljubljana. It's Ljubljana.
Cheetah or something.
Ljubljana. I don't know. It's too hard. It's Ljubljanik or Ljubljanik.
But he said,
Ljubljanica. Yeah, Ljubljanica River.
Mozzie there. Yes, that's the canal. They call it. Yeah.
The flow through is from the river.
Yeah, but they were talking also about these caves we were in yesterday. All comes from the rivers. We saw the river actually going into the caves, didn't we? Like it was, fascinating. You'd go and check out. I've got some photos and stories on Instagram of that. So glad we went there though. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, it hasn't changed. Like they have photos of it. Hasn't changed the caves, or obviously, but the infrastructure. Like they get, they say 4,000 visitors a day at that
wouldn't surprise me at all.
The caves, but the infrastructure and the way they do it is awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
The train, they've got like these little trains, obviously, that we said we get on. You buy your tickets, and you can do like an English tour guide or German. They had all the different languages. and you just hop on this train, and there's no safety instructions. There's no, keep your hands in or anything, and they really should, because we were ducking a lot. I mean,
which we didn't need to,
no,
but
we didn't need to,
because the train does get fairly close, you do get the impression that you need to duck your head and that sort of thing. But obviously you don't. But I think over here in Europe,
yes,
they think that you're responsible for yourself and you shouldn't need instructions. It's common sense. You don't put your hands out and you don't stick your head up.
Yeah, that's
Whereas
true.
in Australia, they'd have all these rules and regulations. Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm not sure that's required.
Hello, there's another little squirrel gone under the table. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. He's
There
coming
he
up.
is.
Hello, I'm going to turn this around and see if you can see him. Is he coming up the table?
Here he is.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Hello. Did you get him?
I don't know. Hi. Hello. Funny little ears, bushy tail. Hopefully you saw him. Right. No, can you hold the camera? There you go. Thank you. Hold it on yourself and tell people about the wine that we found. Oh, please.
Which one?
Any wine. Slovenian wine or actually give them the hint. We haven't told them on the podcast yet, but tell them about the wine in Budapest. Tell them about that, if you like.
Oh, look, the wine areas in Europe, obviously, there's a lot of history to it. I found the wine really good. We went to a place called Ecek in just out of Budapest, which is one of the main wine regions. And it originally, back in the Roman days, it actually started. And then, so you're talking about 2,000 years ago. And then what happened was when the Russians took over, they were more interested not so much in quality, but more in volume and alcohol levels. So, and sometimes, the more alcohol, there is in the wine, some would say the worse the wine is. But so when the Soviet Union collapsed, a lot of the families came back and bought their vineyards back. And to be honest, they're like all makers that we've come across, that their dedication's unbelievable, and for the return they get, which is minimal. But yeah, we was it Garrick that we
no, Gary,
which was one of the winemakers that we met, and just as dedicated as anybody else we've ever met in the wine industry.
And the other thing I was going to say, which we're going to put on our podcast. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to let you in.
Oh, I'm in here. Is when it's a little bit different to Spain, where they free pour your wine.
Oh yeah.
That's what I meant for you to say.
Sorry. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Here you basically get 100 ml. That's the like if you pay for a glass of wine, and that can vary anything.
That's a standard, and that works out to 100 ml.
That's what I just said, 100 ml.
Yeah. Sure.
That's good. It works out to 100 ml. You can we've had wine that's varied from €2 for 100 ml up to about 7. Yep. But when we first got to Budapest, we got caught, and we ordered a wine, and they gave us like 2 helpings.
Yeah, about 200. Well, it was 200.
But we didn't ask for that. We just said a glass of wine.
So when we got the bill and we had 3 glasses of wine.
I had 1, and guess who had 2?
Fair call. Anyway, it's not my fault you're slow.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when we get the bill, we've charged for 6.
6 wines, and we've had 3.
And we've gone, hang on, we've been stitched up here. Anyway, and the other side of it too is in Budapest, there's a surcharge. And what that is basically an automatic tip.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that threw us off. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But okay, it worked out to about $8 a glass, I think, on average in Budapest, which is not cheap, but you're probably paying $12, $13 in Australia.
Just be aware of that. So we know that here. And interestingly, we've had wine, and obviously we've been here 4 nights, and we've had wine every day in a few different places, as you do. And
we're on holidays.
we're on holidays, and we're Beach Travel Wine Mate, remember?
Yeah, sure. So that's why I love that name. And I had nothing to do with it, Leanne.
Anyway, so the cheapest wine we've found is at our hotel bar.
Oh, yeah. And that's now it's going to be a bit of a worry because how much was it?
€2 for a glass of wine. And it's nice wine.
It was funny. When we got back, I said to Leanne, why don't we just have a drink in the bar?
We bought a bottle, but it was still warm. So you ran it up to the room, chucked it in the fridge.
Yeah. So I said to Leanne, why don't you just get a couple of glasses of wine and we'll just sit down here and take our time and then go up and have a glass of wine in the room.
So we sat and watched some Slovenian football.
We did. And Leanne said to me, have a guess how much the wine is. Thinking that I'm going to go, well, it's 5, 6.
Be in the hotel.
Yeah. And I knew straight away, and I said, about 3. And she said, it's 2.
Yeah, €2.
So it was the house wine. And seriously,
it was fine.
For €2, $3,
yeah,
Australian, perfecto.
And I bought a bottle that I'm going to try later, mojito in a bottle.
Oh, she did too.
It was €1.60 or something. So I'm gonna try that out.
You know how you always say to me in a podcast, don't talk about the drinking. It makes me sound terrible.
Well, I haven't drunk it yet.
That's fair call. I was just preempting.
Yeah. We'll have to check that one out later. So, and we're gonna probably. You'll obviously explore along the canal again a bit later. We're going to go. There's the big St. Nicholas Church, is it?
Yeah.
We better go there before we drink the mojito.
I'm not sure that'll be open on the weekends, but because it's a little bit funny here. They don't. All the shops and that don't like in Australia. Everything's open 7 days a week and supermarkets and all that sort of thing. It's not like that here, but it's also the construction work. In Australia, basically finish at 3 o'clock on a Friday. Here, the construction work, they're all working today. So it's a little bit different that way. So you're not real sure when things are open, but I'm sure down at along the canal there'll be something there to have. You think
on a Saturday night?
Oh, I hope so. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll start eating you.
Well, there's the restaurant of course it'd be open.
Yeah.
Yeah. We walked around, we found a few little restaurants on the way here, but I said to Lyle, why would you come all the way out, sort of away from the central area? It's sort of so much nicer in there.
You love the people watching.
Yeah, I do love the people watching. I like looking at their shoes, actually. I don't know why. Their outfits.
And we're talking about their outfits and that sort of thing. I'd class both Budapest and Slovenia as the people quite sophisticated.
Oh, sure. It's great.
Yeah, very sophisticated.
Yeah,
cities.
and I like looking at mature age women like me, and some of them have got some really.
That funky outfit that lady had on. Oh yeah, she was way older than you though.
Well, she looked good too. Yeah, thank you.
She did.
Yeah, it's
not as good as you.
And it's everything. They're so efficient. They're so helpful. It's a little bit more efficient than where we were in Budapest, I think.
Yeah, look, I would say actually probably more like 95% of people speak English.
Sure.
In fact, our tour driver yesterday spoke 8 languages. So, and he called himself. Well, his nickname's the Fossil. So he's a bit older. He was quite funny. Well, he thought he was very funny.
Yeah, he did.
But he was quite funny. Yeah. Everybody speaks so many languages because
they've all been different.
Well, they've all been controlled by different.
Well, and they're
nations.
Well, Budapest or Hungary's bordered by 7 countries. Slovenia's by quite a few as well. So they've got lots of languages around like this.
Well, it'd have to be at least 4.
Yeah.
Slovenia. So, as you say, Hungary's bordered by 7 other countries. So they've got to speak. And of course the Russians were here for so long, so there's Russian, it's crazy. Germans.
Yeah. Anyway, so we've got today and tomorrow here, and we then head to Lake Bled for 2 nights. So we're a bit excited about that, although the weather forecast isn't the best, but
we'll be right.
We've got raincoats, we've got umbrellas, so
we've got Lyle, so it's not going to rain.
So if we get time, we might find a spot to do a little live to show you the lake from there.
Well, apparently Lake Bled is one of the most beautiful natural waterways in the world.
Yes, well, and I've wanted to go there since Michaela, my daughter, went many years ago. Just how beautiful it is, and then we're off to Croatia. So lots to come up. And we've put one podcast out already about Budapest, the Buda side. Lots of fun stories in that. We've recorded another one this morning. It'll be out in a couple of days. And don't forget to check out Instagram stories. I do daily stories on just a couple little videos on where we are, and there's some I put on highlights so you won't miss those as well. So we might go and see if we can eat our lunch without the squirrels annoying us. What do you reckon?
Oh, well, we could eat with the squirrels.
Yeah. Well, if we do that, I'll get some videos and put it on Instagram. Yeah?
Sure.
All right. I don't know how you say goodbye in Slovenian, but anyway.
Ciao.
Yeah, they do say ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.